Hey guys, if you want to get involved, leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. Yo guys, how's it going? It is Curs3d Crocodile here, doing another upload today, doing another talk video. I'm doing a Garden Warfare 2 review. So basically I'm going to be talking about a load of stuff in Garden Warfare 2. If you want me to do a Garden Warfare 1 review and a BFN review, let me know. What was that accent? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to see more talk videos like this, make sure you drop a like on it, make sure you subscribe, and turn the notification bell on so you never miss an upload like this. And if you want to join the channel and become a official member, you can do so. Make sure you click the join button next to the subscribe button. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about a load of different stuff about Garden Warfare 2, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and to be honest, it's going to be pretty interesting. I've always wanted to do a review on this game. We've got some random gameplay here in the background from the live stream the other day, so excuse me if I do really bad. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Garden Warfare 2 for me came out at an interesting time. I really enjoyed it, and for those who played it when it first came out, like I did, there was a lot of stuff back then that was completely different to what it is now. So a lot of the characters, as you may or may not know, were a lot more weak. A lot of characters were a lot more powerful. For example, Imp, believe it or not, had 50 HP. Electro Citron was the most OP character in the game, and Barbecue Corn was quite possibly the best fire type in the game as well. So a lot of stuff since it came out changed, and overall, since I've played this game for many years. For a lot of people who know by now, it's changed, and I've seen it go from bad to good to terrible to worse to fantastic. Not in that order. So obviously this whole review is going to be based around my personal experience on this game, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what I would change, what I would keep the same, and just a general Garden Warfare 2 review. So to start off with, I think this game done a good job on the characters and the variants. So obviously I've spoke about this a little bit before. This game went from Garden Warfare 1 characters and variants and just took it to another level. It was absolutely unbelievable. I think a lot of people really liked the new characters as well. So we have Super Brains, we have Corn, we have Rose, Citron, Imp. We have all these newcomers back when this game came out, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, bro! You can use a mech as an Imp. You can run around with a 10-foot giant robot and kick ass." Like, it was awesome, and you know, it was fantastic. So I think in this game the characters were a nice addition. I think adding new characters like Deadbeard and, you know, Imp and Torchwood, Horrorgoat, whoever the new characters may be, I think it was a great touch, because obviously Garden Warfare 1 and its variants did a great job on that game for many years. We're not talking about Garden Warfare 1 today, but I think this game done a fantastic job in taking what we had, making them a lot better, but adding more. So, for example, I think they took majority of the stuff from Garden Warfare 1, so, you know, Plasma P, Golf Star, Chomp Thing, Alien Flower, all those Garden Warfare 1 characters came over to Garden Warfare 2, and I think it was fantastic when they added more characters, you know, Imp and all that. So in terms of characters, it was fantastic when this game came out, and I think nowadays, now that I'm max rank, and for those who else are close to max rank, or they sometimes struggle with what characters they want to play, you may struggle sometimes in deciding who you want to play, but I never get bored in trying out new characters. So obviously, for those who've been watching the channel over the past couple of weeks, I have been doing a pick and play series, and it's allowed me to play characters that I never played back then. And I think doing the pick and play was a great idea, and it allows me to play characters that I would like kind of give the cold shoulder and never really give a proper try, if that makes sense. So, for example, any of the roses, you would never see me play those unless I either had to level them up, which I did, uh, as well as that, playing the pick and play, which I haven't done yet. So, the pick and play, the whole character thing, it goes really well together, and I think this game's characters has nailed it. I think a lot of balance changes, need to be done. Obviously, Super Commando, my main man, rest in peace, doesn't have 4 bullets anymore. He was a little bit overpowered, you could say, in Garden Warfare 1, so they chopped that down. Torchwood is just ridiculously OP with his Blazing Blast and Leaf Shield. Imp Punt is Imp Punt with any all-star. It's one shot, one kill 99% of the time. Chomper is the most annoying thing in Garden Warfare existence. I would probably go that far. Bumming Sunflowers can be really annoying. The Hill Beam, stuff like that. There's so many things about the characters I would change. Now, that brings me on to the variants real quick. I think this game done great with variants, personally. They did leave out a few. I feel like they could have added I was actually talking to people about variants and that on the live stream I did like half an hour ago. We were talking about a load of different characters and having a laugh about it and stuff like that. So an Ice Imp would have been cool, a Toxic Corn would have been cool, a Fire Brains, a Fire Super Brains would have been cool. All these characters we had the idea of, but we never got to see them, unfortunately. So in terms of variants, baseline, I think they've got a solid lineup of different variant characters for both Plants and Zombicide, personally, and I think that it was very well done. I think the variants definitely played a role in terms of individuality, and I feel like it does separate the character from their default counterpart, and stuff like that. So I would have liked to have seen these other variants that we didn't see, like, I don't know, a Toxic Cactus or a electric corn, or another rock plant, I don't know, rock chomper, like rock pea or something like that. I don't know, man. A variants, I feel like 99% of this game they tapped it out, but I feel like I don't know if I'm being greedy, but I would have liked to have seen maybe 1 or 2 variants added as the game went on. So not necessarily as soon as the game came out, like the rest of these variants. I would have liked to have seen it if, like, a few years down the line, they got added in an update or something. So, in terms of characters and variants, I think Garden Warfare 2 absolutely nailed it, compared to Garden Warfare 1. It was basically Garden Warfare 1, but majorly upgraded, in my opinion. And I'm going to go on to something a bit different now, the customizations. Now, for those who don't know, I still stick by this. I think Garden Warfare 1 out of Garden Warfare 2 and Garden Warfare 1 have the better customizations. So, what I mean by that, I feel like Garden Warfare 1 had a lot more creativity, personally. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but for some reason, I feel like Garden Warfare 1's customizations compared to Garden Warfare 2 were a lot more unique, and they looked cool. Now, I'm not saying Garden Warfare 2 has bad customizations. I mean, right now, my party corner is wearing a hippie hat with glow-in-the-dark sunglasses with sushi around his neck. Where the hell did I get that from? I don't know. But that's not the point. The point is, there was a lot of things on Garden Warfare 1 I remember about the customizations. The shark hat for scientists, the fangs for the Chomper. You put that on Count Chompular, you'll get all these different customizations. I know you can get them in Garden Warfare 2, but I would have liked to have seen maybe 1 or 2 other ways of trying to get them, because not everybody has the patience to do Town Hall and wait for Rux to sell it or something like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Rux and that with the costumes and customizations are great, but this late into the game, many years later, it can become a real hassle for new players to try and get hold of the gnome keys and earn a bit of coins because they're not sure how to get coins, and etc, etc. So I feel like customizations on Garden Warfare 2 were decent. I think one thing I did like about it was how well the customizations complemented each other. So for example, if you look at my corn right now, it's very over the top, bright, vibrant, but it all somehow works. You know, it feels like I could come up with the most random customizations in this game known to PvZ players, and a lot of people just go, you know what, that actually looks pretty cool. So I feel like the whole customization thing with Garden Warfare 2 was, I wouldn't say they stepped it down, but it's going to bring me on to something I thought about a lot before, and I feel like they got a little bit lazy. Now, call me a hater, whatever you want to do, but when it came to the silver and gold versions, don't get me wrong, they're cool. I'll put my hands up and say, you know what, they're actually pretty decent. But in Garden Warfare 1, as much as you used to get that, there was a lot of, again, uniqueness about that one gold thing or silver thing, because you would go past someone and go, oh my god, look at that hat. But in this game, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I packed the same hat I've had like 3 times already, I've just got the gem version. I don't know, there's something about getting it in Garden Warfare 1 compared to number 2 that felt a bit more different. And I felt like they kind of just went, right, let's just make 50 normal customizations and then a load of gold and silver and diamond variants for it, and that's it. I could be wrong. Have a go at me in the comments if you want to, but I feel like that's where my head is at with the customization sometimes with this game, because it feels like they got a load of common stuff, kind of slapped it with a gold paint job, and then going, yep, there you go, that would do. So, enough talking about characters and variants. Personally, I think next is maps. Now, I've spoke about maps on this many times, but I'll go through it again. For those people always ask me, yo, Curs, what's your favourite turf map? What do you hate about Time Park? What is your favourite Team Vanquish map? Etc, etc. I get loads of people talk to me about it. So, in terms of the biggest elephant in the room, evidently there's no elephant in the room, but it's Time Park. Now, I could say this name over and over again on a video, a live stream, by myself in game, whatever. The amount of people that like the map but don't like the way how it flows. Now, I've said this before, when it comes to shooting games, I personally think that the maps need to flow nice. There's a sense of direction, you know, it feels good. You know, you go on that map, you're like, yes, oh, I'm so ready for this, you know what I mean? With Time Park, it's the same kind of opposite feeling. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, great, alright, it's Time Park. We all know what's going to happen, we all know how it works by now. Time Park is a very good example of a capture point map. So for example, you load onto Time Park, it's Team Vanquish, normal Team Vanquish, no gnome bomb, nothing like that. Whoever controls that middle zone, you know, the middle part of the map, is going to win. Now, I don't know if that's because of like how the map is designed. I'm not sure if that's how the characters, you know, weigh up against each other. Like, for example, you might have 20 Cosmic Brains and 4 Sunflowers. Cosmic Brains are going to win. I don't know if it's because of how the characters play on that map. I don't know if it's because of the map's design. It just feels like a very interesting example. I get a lot of hate about that map. I see a lot of people that they think it's alright. Personally, in terms of design, I think it looks fantastic. Visualization, it looks amazing. There's colours everywhere. There's detail quite clearly gone into it. For example, with all the other maps, Zen Peak, Zombopolis, Great White North, any game mode map, you can quite clearly see there's detail gone into it. And I think as a fan of the game, and because I appreciate how much I've done game development at college for how many years, so I know how this stuff is created and how long it takes. So from my eyes, as much as I hate maps like Time Park sometimes, I have to appreciate how much they did try to make it look good. You know, you got to remember how long this takes to make. Each individual thing, every building, every pixel, every plant, every piece of water, every cloud, every background effect, whatever. It takes a long time to build this stuff, and taking away the visualization perspective for a quick second, the way the maps feel in this game, overall, I like it. It's very point to point. There's no like weird, confusing parts. You're like, where am I? Type of thing. Everybody knows the maps by now. I think Turf Takeover, personally, is a fantastic game mode to not only explore the maps, fill the maps out a little bit. You know what I mean? I think it's very simple. You go from point A to B to C to D, whatever, and it works. It looks great. It feels not too bad. And the thing I like about the maps is, again, going back to how much detail there is the effort they put in. So, for example, on each Turf Takeover map, there's like a boss at the end of it. So, for example, Great White North, there's the Yeti. Walnut Hills is a classic, obviously. You have to go into the mansion by getting past the plant's defense. Zombopolis, you have to take down the Zombot as the plants. There's always these little extra bits at the end and throughout the map that make it its own thing, So, in terms of the maps and stuff and the locations on this game, I think it looks, visualization-wise, I think it looks beautiful. The detail that's gone into these maps is next level stuff for a game that came back out in, 2014, 15? Maybe lower than that? I don't know when this game came out. I always get it confused with Garden Warfare 1, but whenever this game came out, it was definitely ahead of the time, I think, in terms of maps customization. It looks great, it felt not too bad, but as a player, you literally go into Seeds of Time or Zen Peak or whatever map it may be, and you go, oh wow, okay, it actually looks pretty cool, and even nowadays, I get new stuff coming in to my view. I go past something and go, since when was that there? Oh, that's actually pretty funny. I played this game for years, and there's still things on the maps nowadays that I'm actually exploring and finding out about. So, brings me on to my next point. Is going to be the collectibles and the little nicks and knacks throughout the game. Now, in terms of the collectibles, I think it's a nice little idea. Definitely gives something newer players to go towards. Obviously, they're all, I think it was like 50 something golden gnomes or something like that, I can't remember. But I remember when I first played this game and I found out that you could get, I don't know, what was it, 300 grand. I don't know how much money you get from it, but let's just say you get 500 grand from all of the golden gnomes. It allowed me to be excited when I found one, It creates that feeling, you're like, oh my god, yes! I need 12 more golden gnomes until I get them all. It's the same thing with the snow globes. Now, you could argue that the rewards weren't necessarily great. I think you get, a special hat with the golden gnomes as well. It's like the spinning gnome on your head or whatever hat. I can't remember what it's called, but in terms of the collectibles, I think it was a nice little touch. It's like trying to keep an eye out for this whilst you're playing this game. So, for example, Zen Peak, this is one of the most memorable golden gnomes in my opinion, because it's very out of the way. It's underneath the map inside a secret cave that you have to drop off the map into a cave entrance and then you'll find it. I think that adds so much atmosphere and just experience for the player. You find a little secret and you're like, oh yeah, I'll take that. It adds a different feeling to the game. It's kind of like when you get a specific weapon skin in this game or something like that, you're like, yes, I found it, or I've unlocked this, or I've got Toxic Brains, oh no, I've got Armor Chomper, that character sucks. It's all these little things that build up the characters, the player's experience in the game, and I think the little collectibles were a nice little touch because it allows the people to get excited about something, but also keep an eye out for the collectibles themselves. And especially when you've been looking for it for ages, I don't know, you was on the final golden gnome or snow globe for absolutely ages, then you find the last one. It's a great feeling. So I think for good points of this game, there's a lot of good things I could say about it. Obviously I can't blabber on for ages, but now I'm going to talk about the interesting part. I'm going to talk about some things that I disagree with, that I don't like about the game. the first things first, this mostly is going to be about, little nicky picky stuff. It's not going to be anything main or anything like that, personally. But anyway, what was I going to say? It was going to be about the level up system. Now, I spoke about this before. Obviously, my level up system, I spoke about it the other day. I don't mind the XP. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's great. But, in my opinion, it does take a while. Especially if you don't know what you're doing in the game. Now, if you're a newcomer, you have no idea how to get XP. Obviously, you can get XP by killing enemies. Simple, fair enough. But if you're not sure what enemies work well against what other characters you're facing, it can be a little bit of a pain in the arse. Because you're like, oh, I've got no speed upgrade for Armor Chomper, for example. And you're like, oh god, I don't really want to do him. Because the amount of people that have come up to me and said, look, I want to get max rank, but I've still got to do this character and this character. I really don't want to do it. And don't worry, I've been there, I did not want to do roses. I absolutely hated leveling up roses, and it was a pain in the backside. But the sense of achievement of when you actually get it done, when you level up all the... Sorry about my computer, by the way. When you level up all of the characters, it feels good, but getting to that point is a bit of a struggle for some people. I feel like they could have made it a little bit easier by implementing some daily challenges. Now, I spoke about this before. I don't mind the scoreboard thing in the backyard where you can get coins and get your XP multiplier, but maybe a weekly challenge. More of those would have been nice. I'll be honest with you, I've never really done them. Because they're just far too long, in my opinion. I'd rather just quickly do 3 or 4 daily tasks, nice and easy, get straight into the game, off you go. I'm pretty sure there's some benefits for doing the weekly tasks, but in my opinion, I didn't see much point in adding them. That's just my opinion. So, the next thing is, obviously when you level up, this is just a nitty-picky thing, is how much lag, how many times I lag when someone levels up. Now, I don't know if this is because the server's getting old, I don't know if it's because it's just how the game is, but I recall back in the day a few times, not as much as nowadays, but back then when someone did level up, you stop moving for a second and then it all happened at once. Now, I don't know what that is, okay, but I've had many times on stream, off stream, whatever, that I've absolutely hated that. And you guys have noticed, whenever the game starts lagging, all I say is lag, because I remember when people used to level up back then, people when they level up now, it becomes very clunky and the game feels a bit slow. Again, this might just be because of how old the server is, but back when I first played it, I also had this problem. Now, believe it or not, Garden Warfare 1, I didn't have much of a problem with it. It was still there, but it wasn't as much of an issue in my opinion. So the game feels a bit clunky sometimes in terms of movement, and some of the hitbox registrations are off completely. There's been a few times where, obviously I've been sprint tackled by an all-star that's over here and I'm over here, and he still somehow gets me. I feel like that could have been worked on a lot more, better. Personally, the hitbox registration is a very small problem in this game sometimes, but when it is a problem, it becomes big, and it can get annoying, believe me. I've been there and been sprint tackled many times. So, one thing I would say about this game, though, is the rewards. Now, you're probably wondering, Curse, bro, you get coins, you get, chests, you get character stickers, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about rewards for the max ranks. Now, this doesn't include any of you guys if you're not max rank. If you're getting to max rank, the amount of times people have said to me, yo, Curse, you're max rank, did you get anything for doing it? Now, obviously, back in Garden Warfare 1, when the game was just by itself, there was no such thing as Garden Warfare 2, you didn't get anything for hitting max rank as far as I remember. But when Garden Warfare 2 came out, that is when you get something for hitting max rank back then. So for example, if you guys don't know, Garden Warfare 1, you get max rank. Back then, you unlock Unicorn Chomper in this game. Now, again, this could be something for the future. If Garden Warfare 3 ever comes out, we're not talking about that again. But I don't know. The reward system for the max ranks felt very underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, I was happy when I hit max rank. I'm sure many of you guys were as well. I know a lot of max ranks who were like, yeah, it's a cool feeling. But after that, it's like, yeah, well, that's it. You kind of just sit there twiddling your thumbs, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, the reward system for the max ranks I felt like was kind of not worked on. It's the same thing with Garden Warfare 1. They didn't really have a plan for when you hit max rank, but they made a plan after when this game came out. So it's kind of like they had a plan, but they just put it in their back pocket, and they were like, yeah, let's just leave the max ranks to be max rank until this game came out. And it's the same thing with this game. I don't know if there's ever going to be a reward for a max rank or anything like that, but we'll find out. Obviously, the lack of content, personally, was a little bit of a problem. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy, you know, the little boss hunts and the town hall challenges. You know, that big statue thing, the big clock tower that used to be outside the front of the town hall. I think that was great. Now, this brings me on to a very strong point. I think a lot of people would agree with me here. They made a big mistake getting rid of that thing, personally. I think they should have kept it in. Maybe switch it up with the town hall. So 1 month you do town hall, 1 month you do that, 1 month you do that, 1 month you do town hall. And if you don't know what I'm on about, basically not too long ago, I'll probably say about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, there was basically a massive clock type of thing in front of the town hall. There was 3 chests you could open by doing certain challenges. Now, you could do those challenges by yourself, but there was also a thing on those challenges where whoever's playing that game at the time on any server, any game mode, it was basically a community thing. So basically everybody's progression will go towards it. If you've reached a certain goal, you get that chest. If you've reached a certain other goal, you get that chest, etc. There's 3 chests available, and I think it was just one big task. For example, deal 15 million damage or something like that. I think it was a great thing when that was happening, because it allowed people who were waiting for Town Hall to come out to do something. You know, it kind of gave them a thing. Oh, Town Hall's not out yet, but I can do that. You know, get some, you know, extra bonus bits. You know, customizations, coins, whatever it may be you got from the chests. And I feel like them getting rid of that was a very big mistake. It was kind of like them getting rid of a DLC, if that makes sense. It was kind of like, yeah, here's a bonus thing for a certain amount of time, but because the game's not popular anymore, we're getting rid of it. Now, I don't know if that's because of what I just said, like, the game's unpopular, they're not going to have it in anymore because we won't reach these challenges, you know. It's understandable, there's not enough players on the fan base, we're not going to hit the challenges as quick, if not we won't hit the challenges at all. But personally, I would have liked to have seen them gone, you know what, there's still a handful of people that play this game, let's lower the challenges and just keep it in the game in general. I think this is probably my main problem with this game. They add a lot of stuff and then got rid of it for no reason. Boss Hunt was a game mode I actually never played, believe it or not. I am very annoyed about that because I'll never be able to play it again. The community challenges, like I said, were fun. It gave you something to work towards, something to look forward to in your spare time. And there was other game modes as well. I can't quite remember what they're called, but there was a lot of things they added into the game and then they got rid of it because of the fan base was dropping. Personally, I can understand why they did it, but at least lower the standards. You know, instead of 15 million damage, do like 1 million damage or something like that, and then you get yourself a free chest. Like, don't get rid of it completely, just tone it down a little bit. So, in my opinion, this game's had its memories, it's had its moments. The video is about to be wrapped up here, so thank you for watching my Garden Warfare 2 review. If you did enjoy it, drop a like, subscribe, become a member by clicking the join button. Overall, Garden Warfare 2, I love ya, I hate ya, but you know what? You'll always be in here for me, regardless if I get annoyed or not. So, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a Garden Warfare 2 pick and play. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Stay hydrated. Keep on gaming. And